This is so weird, Gemini. I feel like I had some cards in reverse, and then like I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then the Empress popped out. She's now flat, looking face up at me. Okay. Before I even started, I was like, who am I even right now? And that was very typical Gemini, you know what I mean? So I feel like you could just be questioning like your own identity at this point, and just kind of like being like, who am I right now? Kind of like in a joking way, right? Because there might be some things that are changing for you. You know, we have Uranus and Taurus right now in your 12th house, so that might be some things that are going on with you. Also, Mercury is in Cancer, but if we think of it in Vedic astrology, Mercury was in Gemini, and that's where it went retrograde, okay, Vedically, sidereally. But we've got Venus that was retrograde in Gemini, which is the esoteric ruler of Gemini. So you just got a lot of things going on in your mind, you know, in your mind, and even in your higher mind, and how you connect to consciousness, right? Because it is Taurus that is experiencing Uranus there, and if it's not Taurus, and yeah, whatever. That's what's happening. And the Empress is here talking about Venus, you know, being able to go direct now. She feels a breath of fresh air. She feels a flow of energy. So you could be feeling a flow of energy, but then at the same time, you're experiencing a lot of residual, and there's a lot of residual feedback that's happening in between, you know, Gemini and Cancer, right? And Taurus for you, just because that's just how it be right now for Gemini. But you've got to just kind of like take a moment to breathe. And you've also got to take a moment to kind of like experience what's going on inside of you. But you've got to calm yourself. And you've got to kind of like take in what's happening around you without any objection to it. And the Empress is here. It will come to you, but you have to know where to look. I don't even know where that's coming from. But the Empress is also talking about creativity. It's talking about beauty. It's talking about love. It's talking about consideration, okay? And it's also talking about the beauty, again, that word, of life. And how there is an appreciation for life when one experiences it on a very, very, very profound level, right? It's like when you connect to nature, and when you're connected to nature so much that you feel like you're one with nature. And when you become one with the nature, you start vibrating higher. And the nature of things. And the nature of things is relationships. Another 3. The Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man is talking about being in a holding pattern, being in a space hold, being in a waiting period. You know, you're learning something right now in this waiting period, but the waiting period is kind of like confusing and confusion. The Hanged Man also talks about like manic, right? Maybe even like being in a period of like instability in terms of like how I'm thinking and how I'm feeling simultaneously. And that could spark some sort of feeling of vulnerability, right? And so now you're sort of submitting to the vulnerability, but you're doing so in a way where you might be retreating, but you're retreating so that you don't bring any attention to something, so that you can figure out where you're going through all of this, right? And in the meantime, everything is buzzing around you. It's almost like you're going in slow motion and everything around you is going fast, right? Or, you know, yeah, smoke and mirrors. I don't really like that imagery. Oh my God. But that's also scary, and that's very fearful too, you know? And these 3s are talking about growth periods that are happening, gestation periods, There's some things that are being learned, and there are some things that are also being digested here. Okay? Processed down so that you can actually really get the most out of it. The Judgment card, I was talking about fear. Pluto is here as well, you know, and Neptune and Pluto. So these are planets that are really far out, really cold, okay? And the Judgment card is saying that there is a new way to do something. There is a way out, you know, and I'm not saying by doing anything that would be harmful, because the Judgment card is 20 and it is a 2, so it's talking about making the right decision that is going to set you free from what you feel is controlling you, or what you feel like you want to have, or you have to have control of, right? This is being able to see something from all sides as well, right? This is also relationships, how you're relating to something as well. Okay? The Empress came up, the Hangman came up, the Judgment card came up. You've got a lot of major arcanas here. You've got 2s and 3s. Okay? 1s, 2s, and 3s. Okay? Then 1s, 2s, and 3s. Then ABCs. The Hierophant, another major arcana card. So this is talking about your level of consciousness. What do you know and what you don't know, right? And what haven't you even become aware of that you did not know yet? So there are some things that, you know, you only know what you have learned and what you've been taught and what you yourself have experienced, okay? But then there are some things that you may have been closed off from just because you were, it wasn't that you were ignoring them, it's just that you never aligned yourself with that level of consciousness. Or there are certain things that we choose to block out about ourselves and about people around us, you know? It's also the Hierophant asks you to be honest with yourself about something, you know? Definitely. Who you are, who you were, who you are, and who you want to become. You know? What's changing? You know? Are you letting people in? Are you keeping people out? This is also talking about, I mean, yeah, there's the key right there. You know? And it's kind of like searching for higher meaning. Searching for a greater meaning. Right? Definitely. Behind the Hangman is the Knight of Pentacles, which is talking about a helpful person that is going to be coming in and giving you some very good advice, right? Maybe offering you their time or their energy in some kind of way, helping you process something, helping you understand something. This could be anyone. This could be a teacher. It could be a mentor. It could be a doctor. It could be a lawyer. It could be, you know, a person who is willing to give you a job, or someone who is helping you, you know, earn some sort of money. You know, this is like you getting into a situation where you might be feeling like you have more responsibility. This is like really taking time to look at all of the details in a situation too, the Knight of Pentacles is saying, right? Look at the details. The Moon came up as well because you do, the Moon, right? Is the esoteric ruler of Virgo, which is the Knight of Pentacles. So it really is talking about the process and looking at all the details and trying to figure out what is unseen to you. So maybe make sure you ask all of the questions, right? You're not going to be annoying. You're not going to be getting on anybody's nerves. Just ask all of the questions. And I'm talking about in a process that is service-oriented, something that you're trying to do that is going to get you further along in experiencing something that's going to be beneficial to you, right? In your best interest, practical matters, okay? Because the Hierophant came up in Taurus, right? And the Empress is Venus, and she's Taurus as well. So let's go ahead and look at what's behind the Hierophant for you. 5 of Wands, so this is talking about conflict within institutions, right? Or within like relationships, or it could be at work, or it could be some conflicts that happen just out of, you know, some ego-driven things, or maybe some egos have been bruised in some kind of way, or maybe we are learning some lessons, right? We're being taught some real life lessons of learning how to be and how to act, or maybe how involved to get or to be. Thank you so much, Gemini. Wow. I'll talk to you all soon. Thank you.